It had been raining all morning. Marcella sat by her playroom window and looked out sadly. A gray blanket of clouds covered the sky, and big drops of cold rain dripped from the roof down the drain pipe and collected in a big puddle just outside the back door. It is bad enough when it rains during the week, thought Marcella, but today is Saturday, the only day of the week when she could do all the things that Saturdays were meant for, like jumping rope or playing in the garden. Today she had planned to take Raggedy Ann and Andy out to play under the old chestnut tree that stood in the very back of the backyard. But the rain had spoiled all her plans. Marcella caught a glimpse of her face in the rain-covered window pane. Not very pretty, she thought, but then no one looks pretty when they are frowning. Marcella was not the only unhappy one in the playroom. From their perches on the shelf and leaning in the corners, all the dolls were watching her closely.
I just hate it when she's sad,
whispered Raggedy Ann to her brother.
I know just what you mean. I feel miserable too,
he replied softly. Even their dog, Raggedy Arthur, and the camel with wrinkled knees looked on in dismay, for there was nothing they could do to cheer the little girl up. Suddenly, Marcella turned away from the window. She had decided to go downstairs and help her mother in the kitchen. Quickly, she crossed the room, turned off the overhead light, and closed the big oak door. Now that she had left the room, the dolls could speak without having to worry about being heard. The camel spoke first.
Oh, my golly, I get all choked up when she's in a state like this,
sobbed the camel with wrinkled knees.
But I do know how she feels. I don't much like this damp weather myself, you know. I get all floppy.
You mean floppier,
teased Raggedy Andy.
You're already the floppiest toy in the playroom.
Oh, well, you'd be floppy too if you'd been around as long as I have,
smiled the camel as he wobbled his way out from under the table where Marcella had last left him. Raggedy Ann and Andy held hands and jumped down from the shelf.
Ooh!
They landed in a soft heap on the floor.
Well,
said Raggedy Ann after she had collected herself,
no matter how bad things get, they certainly won't get any better by complaining about them. You've got to do something more positive than that. Suppose you're dressed for walking and the rain comes pouring down. Will it clear off any sooner because you scold and frown? And wouldn't it be nicer for you to smile than pout, and so make sunshine in the house when there is none without? Suppose every time it rains or snows, you wore a sad and gloomy face. You would be a sorry case. Suppose you find your lesson is very hard to get. Will it make it any easier for you to sit and fret? And wouldn't it be wiser than waiting like a dunce to go to work in earnest and learn the thing at once? Suppose if every mood or face you chose would follow you throughout the year, you'd be smiling year to year. Suppose the And isn't it, my boy or girl, the wisest, bravest plan? Whatever comes or doesn't come, to do the best you can. Suppose